Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Microsoft Word Basics. My name is Christina, and I will be hosting the class today. Um, I will let you know before we get started, if you have any questions throughout the class, there is a little chat function that should be either at the top or bottom of your screen. It looks like a speech bubble. You can type in your questions there, and I will do my best to get to everyone's questions throughout the class. Um, I will just write a little thing right here so you can see it pop up. There it is. Should have a little notification on it. So before we get started, I will also go over some of the upcoming programs the library has before we begin. This coming Thursday, we have Irish music concert with Dr. Murphy's band starting at 7 p.m. So feel free to come to that. We also have this upcoming Sunday for St. Patrick's Day, The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. That's this Sunday at 2 p.m. And then we also have next Wednesday, one of our Illinois Library Presents programs, Interweaving Tradition and Imagination Through Costume Design with Ruth E. Carter. And then also Thursday, March 21st, we have traditional Mexican street tacos. It is an earlier time. It starts at 6:30 p.m. And there is a limited amount of samples. So make sure to sign up for that if you would like to come to that. Now, I will begin with our Microsoft Word basics. Let me get this up here. There we go. And today, what I hope to cover will be terminology and descriptions, how to access Word, the basic elements of Word, tabs and groups. Here we go. How to save documents, how to create and open documents, and printing documents. So that's what I hope to cover today. And we'll see if we have any other time, if I can cover anything else. But I'm going to begin with terminology and descriptions. So, Microsoft Word. It is an application for creating and working with text-based documents on PCs that have the Microsoft software on it. Examples of text-based documents are letters, memos, resumes, cover letters, and flyers. Moving on, you will see what they call the ribbon now. That is what shows up at the top of the screen when you have Microsoft Word open. And it's the area where the commands are organized into tabs, icons, and groups. Tabs there are 8 tabs in the ribbon, and those are the words that are usually at the top here. Those are the tabs highlighted there. And it includes home, insert, page layout, references, mailings, review, and view. And then within those tabs, there are different groups located at the bottom there and highlighted in red. And all of these groups have related task functions within them. And the name of the group is below the task buttons, again highlighted in red there. Any additional tasks are accessible by clicking on what they call the dialog box in the lower right-hand corner. And you will see it's that little arrow pointing down right. So to access Word, depending on which version of Windows you have, but it's usually in the Start window, and you can search for it there. I'm going to escape out of this for a moment. I will show you on my screen where it's located. It should be similar on each screen. Back out of that. If you have a shortcut created on your Windows screen here, it will show up here. It's usually always a blue icon with a white W on it. Or you can also find your search bar, which is always like these 4 squares here. And you can click on it, and you could search for the app here. And you can also search for the app here in the search bar. As you can see, I've used it recently, so it's showing up there. But you would just start typing in Microsoft. And then Word. Here you can see I have Word 2016 on this computer. And you would just click on it. And it should take you to a screen that looks like this. And what it does is, if you have any loaded templates, it will show some templates that you can use. Otherwise, I have a blank document here, and will just be a white blank document. And it would open up like this for a new blank document. Okay, here we go. There you are. You can also, again, as I said, open it from the desktop icon if you have a shortcut. And so the basic elements or the layout of Word right here, I'll start in the upper left here where it says Quick Access Toolbar. Those are some quick tasks you can use, such as saving or undoing a mistake. Next in the top is the title bar. That will show the title of the document you have. If you haven't titled it yet, it always shows it as document 1 until you title your document. In the upper right, where it says minimize, maximize, and close, that is where you can make sure you have your document take up the full screen, or if you just want to minimize the program without completely closing it. Next is the horizontal and vertical rulers that will show you how large the document is when it's fully printed. So it's usually standardly in what they call letter size, which is 8.5 by 11. Next is the scroll bar and arrows. That's how you can go up and down your document. Then you also have the document window, which is where the main text of your document will show up. In the bottom left is the status bar, which will tell you how long your document is. So right now it says 1 of 1. But however long your document is, it will show how many pages it is and how many words you have. Next to that is the view buttons. So you can change how you're viewing the document, what it looks like. And then the zoom slider, how zoomed in into the document you are without changing the text of the document. So I'm going to show what this looks like in actual Word. Here we go. So again, the quick access here, this is to save very fast without having to go to file save every time. This is undo typing. Right now I haven't typed anything, so there's nothing to undo, or there's repeat in action. This specifically touch and mouse mode, that's if you're on a tablet, as I am right now. I'm actually on a tablet. So I can change between mouse mode or touch mode. But you're on a standard PC, this won't show up here if you don't have a touch screen on your device. Here is where it says I can customize the quick access toolbar. So I can add more icons here if I wanted. I could add new document, open an old document, quick print, print preview, spelling and grammar, and other things like that. Here again is the title bar. Right now I haven't titled it, so it's just showing document 1. And this here, this is for ribbon display options here. So right now I have it so it shows the tabs and commands for the ribbon here. But I could also hide the ribbon if I wanted. And hopefully you can see here now the ribbon has been hidden, but now it's harder to access my controls. So I'm going to say show tabs and commands again. And here it comes back. This is to minimize a Microsoft Word. So if I click on that, it'll just minimize it. I can still open it back up from the bottom here. This is what's called restore down. So this will take it off full screen mode. So you can see here, it's just become a smaller box. But if I click on this again, it will make it full screen mode again. And this X here, this will close the document. So that will completely close Word. And I would have to reopen it again from the search bar. So only do that once you're done with Microsoft Word for the day. Here on the left and the top here are the rulers again. So you can see how large the document will be when it's printed out by the inches here. And here is the main body once I start typing. And here we'll see this scroll bar on the side. This lets me scroll through the document. Right now it's just one page because I don't have anything written on it. And here you can see here page 1 of 1. No words yet. And this is like a spell check. Obviously I haven't written anything right now, so it doesn't come up back with anything. And here is the different views. So right now it's standardly on print layout when you first open it. So it's showing what the document will look like when it's printed out. Here is read mode. Right now it doesn't have any text on it, but this is just read mode. And let me go back here. So let's say so read mode. Here we go. So I can read it, but I can't make any edits on it. You can see I cannot click into here. So when you're in read mode, you're just able to read it, but cannot make any editing on it. Here I can make edits. And then web layout, this is only if you're planning on uploading this to the web. This would help you see what it would look like on a web page. But standardly, you're probably going to just keep it on print layout mode because that's where you can do your editing. And then right here is the zoom in and zoom out function. So this can make it the text smaller or larger without changing what size it will be when it prints out. So this is just if you need help reading the text on the screen, but don't want the text to necessarily print out very large when you're printing it out. And again, standardly, Word will open this at 100% when you first open a new document. Okay, so that's the layout here for now. Let me go back to the slideshow. And again, at any point, if you have any questions throughout the class today, there is a chat bubble that you can put your questions in, and I will be reading them throughout the class, and hopefully I can get to all your questions. There. So I just had it pop up so you can see it again. Let's see. There you go. Okay. So next we're going to break down the tabs and the groups. Again, these are at the top of the page. When you first get in, so I'll show it. Let's break them down. So this very first tab is home, but you also see a file right next to it. That is where you can save your current document and or open a new document. This first one here, info, it gives you all the info so far on the document you're currently working on. So you can see I've had this document open for 22 minutes and it was created today at that time. New is when you want to open up a new blank document, or if you want to, you can see what pre-made layouts they have for you as well. You can see, so this is for business cards, things like that. You can also see on the right-hand side here, it gives a breakdown. So say you want to make a calendar, it gives you some suggested layouts for things such as that. Get rid of that. So there you go. Otherwise, if you have a document you've already worked on before and need to make changes to, you can go to Open, and you can search for it here. So you can see in your Documents folder or Recent, but you can also search for this PC, or if you have a OneDrive account, or you can just browse through the file folder on your computer and find it that way. Right next here is Save. You click on that, or Save As, because I haven't saved it yet. It'll let you select where you want to save this document on your PC or on your OneDrive account. And so you can select a place, let's say here, and then it will open up this file explorer here, and this is where you can name your document. You can select what document type, usually Microsoft Word, since we're in Microsoft Word. And then you would just hit save, and it would save it for you in this folder here. So I'll hit save. And you can see this has now changed to the new name. If I hit save now, it will just save it again in the same place. But if I hit save as again, I could then save it in another place. So I could have this document saved in multiple places if I wanted to. And it will do the same thing again. It will open up the file explorer and I can rename it if I want to. Under that is print. So this lets me print the documents to whatever local printers I have. If you have a printer at home, it would connect to the printers at home. Otherwise, if you print it at the library, each library has their own way of printing things, but this is how you would print it. You can select how many copies you can print of it, which pages. If you have multiple pages, you can select to have it print all the pages or just the current page, or you can even select specific pages to print. What letter or what paper size. Usually standardly it's 8.5 by 11, but it depends on what kind of paper you have. And then when you're all ready, you would just hit print and it would print to that printer. Sharing. This allows you to send it to your email, or you can share it with other people. Or here, if you have OneDrive set up, you can save to the cloud. Export allows you to create a PDF if you have a PDF reader on your computer, or you can also change the file type here. It will open up here and you can choose which file type. If you don't see the file type you want here, you can select save as another file type and it'll give you even more options. And then you'll hit save as. Closing, again, is going to close Microsoft Word, so make sure to only do that when you're done for the day. Account, this gives you more info, but if you have a Microsoft account and stuff like that. And options gives more options, but I'll be, if I have time, I'll go more into that. And then, again, as you were seeing, if you wanted to go back from this page, you just hit this back arrow here, and it takes you back to this page. So then, in the Home tab, this is where you're going to select how your text is going to look, or what they call font. This first part here is what they call the clipboard. If you've copied some text from like another document or something like that. So for example, let's say I highlight this and I'm going to ask it to copy. I can take what I've copied, go back into Word here, and I can tell it to paste. And it gives you some options whether you want how the text to look when you copy it. If you just want to what they call merge formatting, to keep it the text to look how it looks here on Word, you would use merge formatting. Otherwise, if you want to keep the text how it looked, you can do destination theme or keep source formatting. This is for if you have a picture, and this is just if you want to keep the text only. So it gives you some options here. Let's just say keep text only. So that's how to use the clipboard here. You can also format Painter. It's not working right now. Here we go, format Painter. They also have the drop-down menu. And here it gives you a little menu over here. Gives you options to paste it'll give you everything that you've like copied for the day. You can select to paste it all or clear it all. Or it will also ask if you want to show the Office clipboard automatically, or like give you different options of when this clipboard will show up or not. You can also close it by hitting the X here. Okay, and you'll also see when I have something highlighted like this, the cut and the copy get highlighted. That means I have text that's highlighted that can be copied. If I click off of it and unhighlight it, you'll see that these go away. Now let's see if we wanted to change the font, which is in this next group here. So standardly, when you open Microsoft Word, it's on this default font, which is called Calibri. And it's usually at like 11 point size. But say I wanted to change it. Again, we have to make sure our text is highlighted that we want to change. And it gives you lots of options, and they're listed by alphabetical. Like standardly used font is usually like Times New Roman, but you have lots of different things to choose from. Some are more readable than others. Let's choose something like this, and you will see what it looks like here. If you decide that you don't want that text, it does show your most recently used fonts or Calibri again up here, so you can always change it back. Or you can also even do the undo button, which is right here. If you undo it, it will go back to what it was before. Or if I decide I really do like the font I had before, I can redo it and they'll put it back to what it was before. And now that I have the font like this, anything else I type will be in this font again until I change it back to that. And here, where you can change the font size, they give you some options here. It usually goes up to, this usually goes up to 72. But if you want it bigger than that, you can always type in and then hit enter, and it will change it to that size. So you're not limited to just what they have here. You can also type in the font size that you want. Or you can do it manually with these right here. This will increase and this one will decrease. But as you can see, it does it by increments of 10 right here. This right next to it, this allows you to change the case of your text. So say, for example, you accidentally type something all in lowercase, but you realized you actually wanted it in uppercase. And instead of having to retype everything in uppercase, you can just click on this and it will change it for you. And maybe if you did it in uppercase and you want it in lowercase, same way. Next to it is what they call a sentence case. That will change it to just capitalizing the first letter in the sentence. So let's try this. There's sentence case. So you can see it just capitalized the, or maybe I want to capitalize each word. So then it will do it for me that way. Or in toggle case, we'll just make everything opposite of what it is. So you can see here, it made everything that was lowercase uppercase and everything that was uppercase lowercase. There. So that's changing the case for you. This will clear all formatting that I've done. So this will just take it back to the standard Calibri in 11. So that will just clear all the formatting for you. Next, underneath here is making everything bold. So that will just make your font bold. We have italicizing and we have underlining. And the underlining gives you some options for what you want your underlining to look like. So you can select that and even change the underline color. It's usually on automatic, but you can change the color if you want, like that. Okay. And we also have what they call strike through. This is usually typically used for editing. If you realize you wanted to take something, or you're implying that you want something taken out and it will be done later, you can do strike through. Then subscript and superscript, that's mainly for formulas and or dates that will, I'll show an example here. And this may do it automatically for me, but I can also highlight that and tell it to do subscript, so that will lower it slightly. Or you can have superscript and that will raise it slightly, like that. And then next to it is text effects, text effects in typography. So that you can make some effects on your text, usually best for like posters or pamphlets or things like that. They have to be more eye-catching. They have some preloaded effects for you that you can choose from, or as you can make your own outline, shadow, reflection, glow, number styles, ligatures, and stylistic sets. This right next to this is highlight color. So if you want to highlight something, you can have some different colors you can highlight. And right next to it is the text color. That will just change the color of the text for you. So that right there is the font. Give me 1 second. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to put questions in the chat. Just give me 1 moment. Sorry about that. So let's see. Okay. Then the next group is the paragraph group. That sorry, excuse me. That is great for where you need maybe bullet points or numbers. It's great for making outlines. Maybe if you're having like a long paper or something like that, you want to make an outline for it first. So let me highlight this. The first one is for bullet points. If you click on it, it will just give you a standard dot for your bullet point. But otherwise, they also have some options for you, maybe like a square or an O or a graphic or something like that. They have some bullet points. Otherwise, you also have numbers you can use. And they have the standard just like 1, 2, 3. Or you can have the Roman numerals or ABC, anything like that. These are great just for making outlines though. And this next one, that is like for tiered outlines. So if you have like your sublines beneath your main section, they have some options for that as well. Right next to it is the indents, whether to increase or decrease your indents. So right now, if I hit decrease, that will move the indent further to the left, or I could increase the indent, make it further down the page. But that can let you move that way, or you can also do it manually as well. If you click this moves the whole thing over again. But if I click the top of it, it will just move that part of it, and you can see it gives me more space between the number and the text. And if I click on this will move the numbers. So again, move it together. If you want to move everything together, hit the click on the very bottom box, and that will move everything together. If I want to move just the text portion and not the numbers, click on the top of it. And if I want to move the numbers but nothing else, the very top. So that's how that works. Right next to here, the A to Z, that's for sorting your list. So if you have a list here and you want it to sort it, you can tell it how to sort it from ascending to descending. And then just hit OK. You can see it sorted these by alphabetically by the text here. Again, I can undo that if I want to. This right here, it looks like a little backwards P. This will let you see all your spacing and indents. So backwards P means this was an enter, So it's a new paragraph every time. This has the indents here. Then let me get rid of this strike through here so you can see that. Each dot here in between each word is a space. So this just lets you know what your spacing is like. These will not print out on paper. It is only just for your formatting and editing. It will not print out if you leave this on. It's just for your guide. But some people might find that distracting. Some people leave it off. But other people leave it on so they can see their spacing. It's just personal preference. This right here in the next line, this is your alignment on your page. So standardly, when you open a new document, it's always align left. So that means your text will start from the left here and it will type right. Next to it is centered. That's great for usually like titles and stuff like that on your paper. So you can see this moved over here. Let me move it all. So there you go. You can see it's all centered. Align right means it's going to start on the right and the text will move left. So let's give an example here. An example of there we go. There you go. So as you saw, it was I'm typing from here and the text is moving that way. Let's highlight this again. And then the last one is called justify. So again, it's going to start on the left. Start on the left, and the text will move right, but it will distribute your text evenly between that margin. So that means, as you usually see like in newspapers where all the lines end exactly here, and usually even if a word might get caught off there, and then we'll put the hyphen and the word will continue on the next line. That's what newspapers use. They're using justify, so all the columns look end evenly, even if a word is being cut off, so the word will then go to the next line. This here is line and paragraph spacing, so you can choose how much space appears between each line of text. We'll highlight that, and we'll have a little drop down menu. It'll give you an option of usually like one line between each, or maybe 2 lines. That's usually what double spaced means, is 2 lines, or you can even have it all the way to 3 lines, which is quite a lot. Usually people either usually keep it at 1, or if they're doing edits, sometimes double spaced. This right here sets the background behind your text. Standardly, usually it's no color, but you can choose to have some color behind your text if you choose. And this here is if you're usually trying to create like a table or something like that, you can add borders between each line. So for example, if I had all borders, you will see there's a border between each paragraph here. Usually otherwise you have no borders usually on. In this next group in styles, there are some preloaded text styles or text styles for you. You can choose if you so wish to choose from one of here, or you can create your style from the font here. And here in editing, this is a nifty little thing for finding words and replacing words. If, for example, maybe you accidentally type someone's name wrong, you can tell it to search for all the instances of where maybe you typed it wrong, and you can tell it to replace all those with the correct spelling without having you to go back and find each one and replace it individually. So that's the first tab, the home tab. Then we also have the insert tab. This is where you can create a cover page and insert page breaks. So that will mean it will go to the next page. So let's say I have it, you want to make sure your cursor is in the correct spot. You want the page break. So say I want it after this bullet point here, you can tell to insert a page break. So now it has gone on to the next page for me. This is also where you can insert a table, insert pictures. This first one is pictures from the computer or device you're on right now. So that would open up the picture folder on your device. Otherwise, online picture, it's going to search using Bing image search. And so let's say I want a picture of a computer. I just type it in and hit enter, and it's going to give me a bunch of examples of computers. I will just click on one that I like. And you can see here it says Creative Commons. That means they're free to use. So you don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. So you select it. So it has the check mark here and just hit insert. And then it inserts the picture of the computer for me. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. And you can see now that I have inserted a picture, and while it's highlighted here with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dots, I have a new tab for picture tools, formatting. And there's a whole bunch of formatting I can go into. Not going to do that right now. Maybe if we have time later. But if I want this tab to close, I just click off the picture and that tab is closed. But if at any point I want to go back to that tab, I just have to click on the picture and that tab reopens for me. So that's an easy way to go back and forth between the formatting tab. Back to insert. Similar to online pictures is shapes. I just click on it and it gives me lots of different shapes that I can insert into my document. What they call smart art. This is more like more complex tables and stuff like that. I'm just gonna hit cancel for now. And again, also charts. Again, more complicated tables and the like, but gives you lots of different options. You can also add a screenshot right from your computer. So I can just click on it and it will tell me which programs are available for what they call snapshot or screen clipping. So I could take a snapshot of the PowerPoint I have open, stuff like that. You can also even insert an online video, but that's more for if you're probably going to be presenting this live. You also can add hyperlinks to different web pages, add comments. That's more for editing. You can also have a header and footer and a page number. So especially if this document is going to be a longer document, like a paper or something like that, you can have your page numbers. Just click on it, and you can select where on the page you want the page number to show up, and it'll give you little examples of what it would look like. Lots to choose from. Large one, small ones, brackets, things like that. You can also add a text box. To your document, so that it gives you options again of what you want it to look like. Let's say I want it on a sidebar, and so I'll have this set up for you. Gives you a little graphic already, and it gives you a little rundown too. These won't show up. This is just the holding text until you start typing something. And it gives you, sidebars are great for calling out important points, and it gives you a little rundown. And so you just start typing, and then when you're all done, you click off of it, and you'll go back to the main body of your document. Quick parts are pretty similar. We also have word art again. So can have text they'll pop more if you're trying to make more eye-catching. And there's also equation and symbols for more math related. So that's insert. Give me 1 second. I am seeing we have about 15 minutes left, so I'm gonna try to go through these last tabs pretty quickly. But if there's anything I haven't touched on yet that you wanted to go over, please again put it in the chat here. It should be at the top or bottom of your screen. There. So design, again, they have some preloaded themes you can choose from. If you don't want to like make your start or do it all from scratch, they have some things you can choose from right here. You can even choose maybe the colors. So maybe say you don't really like that blue over there, you can say maybe try for yellow. Or maybe I want more purple or violet. You can just change the colors real fast like that. And also, again, they have some preloaded fonts for you that you can choose from if you don't like the looks of the fonts they have on. Here's also where you can watermark your page. They have some examples to choose from, but you can even create your own custom watermark. Maybe if you have something made in Publisher or some other art program, or there may be some more that you can find at office.com. Those are just some to choose from. And then this is also where you can create a page color. So you can color the whole page. But again, you might want to choose something that's on the lighter side so your text is more readable. And here's also page borders. They have just some like lines to choose from, but then they also have box, shadow 3D custom if you have one you want to upload from somewhere. But then they also have down here in the art, it's kind of hard to see, but there's some images you can choose from. Some are holiday themed or just floral themed, things like that. They have some black and white, but also color to choose from. So let's say, for example, it's Christmas time. There's this one that has holly, and you can choose whether to apply it to the whole document or just one page. And you can also choose the size of the image. So this starts pretty small, so you can have lots of small ones, or you can have just a few big ones. So let's just choose that so you can see here. And it goes around the page. So they have some borders you can choose from. Next is layout. This is where you can change the margins. So standardly, when you first open Word, it defaults to 1-inch margins. That is the little area on the side that text usually doesn't go into, but you can see that's where it put the borders. And they have that just so if you had the text go all the way to the end of the page, when you print it out, it probably would cut it off. So you don't run the risk of cutting off your text. You do want to keep your borders. I would recommend, they do have it as small as 0.3 inches, but I would say maybe like half an inch is probably the closest I would go. And then we also have orientation. Standardly, when you open up, it's in portrait, but you can also change it to landscape like that. Size is also where you can choose the size of the paper you're printing on. Again, standardly it's 8.5 by 11. The other one, legal size is 8.5 by 14. And the one right above it, 11 by 17, is ledger size. That is usually quite big. So yeah, not every library or printer is going to be able to fit the larger sizes. These ones up here are usually like poster size. Or you can even choose if you have like envelopes printing on, they have it breaks down the size of the envelopes. So you would just have to see what size your printer has or what your library carries. But most of them are standardly going to be 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14. And here is where you can break down the columns. Standardly, it's on one column of text. But you know, if you're doing like pamphlets or newsletters or something like that, they might have more columns, 2 or 3 columns. Or here, they have the left side being smaller and the right side being larger. Or on this side, the right side being smaller and the left side being larger. Or I can also click here for more columns, and you can have a breakdown of it. You can select how many columns you want. I think as many as you want. After a certain point, it's going to be the columns will be quite small. Otherwise, usually standardly at most maybe 4 or 5 columns. After that, they start getting pretty small, and it tells you what the width of each column is going to be, and how much spacing is going to be in between them. And that's only if I have the equal column width highlighted. Otherwise, if I don't, I could tell it how big I want each column. Say I want one column bigger than the other, I could have that here. And again, it's going to apply it to the whole document, but otherwise you can say from this point forward. And then here I can also even select if I want a line between each column, so you can give it a little bit more of a visual break between each column. And here breaks is, again, you can have more page breaks if you want another column break. Text wrapping, so it selects that make sure the text is wrapping around the image here, or any other objects that might have in the document, whether it's like text blocks or something like that. In here is also section breaks as well. And here I can even select the line numbers for each line here, whether I want it to restart with each page or each section, or if I want it to be continuous. Again, here is the indents or on here. Going on to references. This is more if it's more like of a full book or something like that. You make your table of contents, you make footnotes or citations, captions for pictures, and mark entries and mark citations. So that's very much for either books or, you know, big research papers. That's great for that. Mailings, this is for, again, if you're making envelopes or labels or something like that. This will help you format those more. Or if you're even making like an address book or something like that, that's great for this. Or this is great for that. So I'm reviewing. This is for when you're getting close to the end of your paper or your document, whatever you're making. This is, again, where you can find more spelling and grammar. And you would just click on it and it will go through. Right now it doesn't see anything, so it's just all done. Thesaurus, this is great for it. Maybe if you're having trouble thinking of a better word or something like that, you can just click on it. And right now it highlights the last word that I typed. But you can also click in here and type the word you might want to look up, hit enter or the search, and it will give you some, you know, great other words. And you can just click on them and they will place it for you. So say, for example, if I was doing the right, I would just click on it and it would just immediately replace the right with the word I clicked. This here, word count, this is great for, seeing how much you've typed so far. It says, and it's also at the bottom here, it says 88 words. If I highlight a section, it will tell me how many words I've highlighted. So maybe if you're just trying to see how many words you had in a specific section, you can just highlight the section and it will tell you how many words are in that section. Here's also a translate in language. So maybe just in case English is not your first language or you're typing in a different language. That's great for that. There's also inking and restrict editing. That's only if maybe you're sharing this document with others. This commenting is also if it maybe you're sorry, excuse me, commenting on somebody else's paper. So you can leave a comment for them. And then view. This is again where you can change out the view layouts of how you're looking at the document. You can also look at it in an outline and draft mode. Here is also where you can take away the ruler. Maybe if you don't want these numbers here, maybe they're distracting, you can take it off and it will take away that ruler. You can also always put it back on. Grid lines. That's maybe if you are, I would say maybe if you're like making a newsletter or something like that and you want to make sure everything's lined up or something like that, you can have those. Again, these are not going to print though when you print it out, so don't worry about these printing out when you're printing. And the navigation pane. Maybe if you have a really long document, you can move your content around here. We can always turn it off. And again, this is for zooming. You can choose how much you want to zoom in at the time. Or maybe you wanted to look at multiple pages at once. You can have multiple pages on so you can look at them side by side. Things like that. So that is the tabs and groups. Now, unfortunately, I have run out of time. I did show the printing. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have for now. But I will keep the chat open. Maybe if you have any other questions I haven't gotten to at the time, I can see if I can answer anything in the couple of minutes we have left. But otherwise, I will say thank you for coming. Hopefully you were able to learn something new about Microsoft Word. I did record it, so if any time you want to view this class again, it should be on the library's YouTube page within a couple days. If you go to youtube.com and search up Palos Heights Public Library, you should be able to find our channel page, and it should be on the top of the videos once it gets uploaded. And so you can, and it will stay up there indefinitely, so you can always watch this class again. So I will say thank you for coming. I will leave the chat open. Yeah, and otherwise have a good Monday.